Beloved, welcome back to the shop. This is an official U.S. Forest Service, an FSS mop-up kit. Now, as a former wildland firefighter and an engine boss, one of the key things, the roles that I played, was protecting structures in the urban interface. Today's video, I'm going to show with you my kit, what I have for a grab-and-go system to deal with an encroaching wildfire on your home. This was put together from, a lot of it is from the Forest Service or from their original kit, but some additions that I've come up with just from my experience over the years that I find to be very useful. So this isn't the end-all be-all, but this is a reference point and something that you can kind of learn from if you do live in an area that could be threatened by wildland fire. The kit is complete. Let's pull it out, go through it, which is my custom. Wildland season is roaring in like a lion this year, and I want to have everything double, triple check so that if it pops off, we don't have to think about it. We can grab and go, know we have the equipment we need. So let's do a full inventory and go through every single piece. So what is this kit for, and how do you use it? Basically, this kit right here, you could grab and go, whether your own house or your neighbor's house is on fire, and utilizing what he already has there to set a full perimeter of sprinklers and protect the roof as well as the surrounding structures, with an addition of a little water bug pump. So that's the way I look at it. I'm pretty well protected around here. I'm going to have my work done before it gets to that point, but this is something that I would likely and have grabbed to go help someone else that may not be so well prepared. So that's what it is, to wrap a structure, a perimeter of a building, to make it as defensible as possible for spot fires, for spotting, encroaching fires, whatever could be, and give it the best chance of survival as you can. These little yard sprinklers, these have a base, you could throw them on the roof, you can put them around the perimeter, are pretty handy. And the fact that the way that they're passed through means you can chain them together and have multiple. So I keep 2 of these that you can put on the ground, and these are a new addition. I used to carry 4 of those. These Eve sprinklers. Now these are designed where you can hang them over your rain gutters. You can put one on pretty much anywhere, clamp this down, adjust a little bit, run a hose up there, and this will do a full 360, 180, whatever you need, and keep your roof wet. The reason why I go through this stuff annually is you just never know. I mean, I'm 99% sure everything is here, but when you have multiple people that work for you or that pull out of the bag for things don't get put back, and the last time you want to find out is when you need it. So we go through every piece for that reason. These little guys, or appliances as we call them, are water thieves. All this stuff is designed to interface with Forest Service, DNR, your local guys. It's all cross-compatible, and that's really what happens. When you get something being threatened, a town or homes, it's all hands together, and you don't want to have things that won't interface, that are odd threads and such. So I keep everything standardized. Now what a water thief is it's a way to steal a little bit of water off an 1.5-inch line. Now your 1.5-inch line, this is 1.5 inches, they're going to be laying everywhere. You can break one of those at any point or decouple it, thread one of these in, and you're essentially siphoning off or stealing, rediverting a little bit of water for your fire suppression. So we go from 1.5 inches to 1 inch, and then each one of these water thieves will go from 1 inch to ultimately to a 3/4, which is your garden hose right there. So there's a couple different types. This is just a regular pass-through right here, nothing fancy. It's just basically a T. Whereas these guys are a little bit more elaborate, and they have a valve, so you can control how much water. If pressure is a problem, you can take a little bit less. There's a compartment up here in the flap which will house all of the small appliances, the 3/4 inch stuff. Now this is all stuff that will fit your garden hose, because I want to be able to have 3 fighting lines if necessary. Hopefully you have enough pressure. So 3 high quality USA made solid brass garden sprayers. Nothing fancy there. You also want to be able to shut off your water at the source always. You never want to you always want to have a valve on everything. And these are the best ones you can buy. These are the ones that the Forest Service uses. They're heavy, solid brass. One thing we're checking, do we have gaskets? Oh, right there you go. Someone stole a gasket out of there. Make sure that everything's got, 2. So we'll set those aside. Do these guys have gaskets? No, that one's missing one too. So we need to deal with that. Speaking of which, always, I'm going to have a full set of gaskets for 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 3/4 for that very reason. Man, you lose them, they fall out, so that's really essential. And then 3 real high pressure stream nozzles. If you want something that's gonna, there should be 3 in there. I might be missing one. I don't know where that one went. Oh, here, yeah, I did have it. This, instead of having like a fan or adjustable, this has a really small orifice, like an 1/8 inch or so, and this will be, you can really penetrate. You can get in deep, where you have to go through duff or bushes to put fire out. It just gives you another option. You can thread that on there for something that's a little bit more high pressure. I lay everything out and physically verify it all. You just can't be too careful when you're dealing with life safety. Every one of these appliances, does it have the rubber in it? Is it cracked? Is it missing anything? Does it need to be replaced? You want to find out now. You don't want to find out when you need it and water spraying all over the place. It is my pet peeve to have a garden hose that leaks all over your hand all day and wastes water. It's so precious on wildland fire, the water, it costs so much to get it to the fire that I heard one time a division supervisor told me that the Forest Service estimates that the price per gallon is the same as milk. The final thing I've got in that lid compartment are these little clips right here. If you live in a place where there's any possibility of wildland fire, if nothing else, get yourself a couple extra hoses and a pair of these. These little clips, you can pre-mount these up on your eaves, like up on the gable, and have those ready. If and when you need to do it, this little hole in here is designed to put a paint roller pole. So you can put that paint roller pole in there, and you can hook the hose to the bottom of this, lift it up there, and insert it into these stainless steel clips. They're stainless so they won't rust. And right there, if you can get that on your gable, now that thing will broadcast all the way around and get your whole perimeter around your house. So any embers or anything, because what happens is the wind will drive that fire as it burns up and hits little jackpots. Hot unburnt embers will fly and push ahead of the fire, and those will land on your roof or in your eaves. And if you have grass or grass in your gutters or any debris, that will start a fire. This right here, I have seen one sprinkler save an entire house when everything around it was all burnt up because one homeowner had these on their home and everyone else didn't. For lack of $50, they lost everything. So get a pair of these. These guys are really good. I'll put links, if I can find them, in the description, but these are really good. Now the last of the components is what we call toy hose. This is the same as your garden hose, but it's forestry hose, meaning that it's very packable and very lightweight. I think that these are 50s, and it's a single jacketed lightweight hose. Can you imagine trying to carry 7, 8, 10 of these rubber garden hose? That'd be pretty heavy and impossible. If they're not wound up tight, that's fine. Here's the hack. Lay them on a table. These actually look pretty tight. And if you can just put some pressure on the center, you can pull them, and you can reduce the size of these by half, typically. All of that really helps when you're trying to put a lot of gear in a small space or have to carry it up and over a mountain. Once you get this done, I'll take a zip tie, and you only need to go through half of it, feed it through, and we'll do this on every one. Of course, Proho will always have a pocket knife on him, so you'll get through that. It won't be a problem. Flush cut nippers are good for zip ties. They don't leave that wicked edge on there. And check, we have a seal on there. Good. Here's a pro tip. When you roll your hoses, always the female on the outside. The male goes to the fire. That's where the appliance thread's on. This goes to the supply. So you always wrap it with this out. That way when you take this and you throw it and roll it out, you're rolling it towards the fire, and this is where the water's going to go in. So if you ever see a guy wrapping them backwards, what that typically means is that this hose needs to come out of service because it's got a hole in it or it's been damaged. And that way, that's just a quick way that we learn to know, don't use this, or it always is possible that you have someone that doesn't know that and they're a rookie or they just didn't pay attention. But they would be so ridiculed by doing that that they would never make that mistake twice, or at least if they were on my engine, that I guarantee you. All right, gentlemen, we're ready to repack. Do you see why you double check everything? A fourth missing gasket right there in the sprinkler. All of the 3/4 inch stuff and the gaskets, they go up in the lid compartment. After this video, I'm going to go order a whole case of those 3/4 inch gaskets to replace all the ones I used. Thread these guys together. Make it simple, make it work. 3 nozzles, 3 more nozzles, spare cap, clips for the eaves, for those gutters, and there you have the full Urban Interface home protection or structure protection kit. You probably noticed these guys, they don't fit in the bag. The Forest Service, I used to use that, you see them, they would stuff them in the bag and they're sticking out. It doesn't work very good, but these are just basically hard wands with a bend in them. This will hook to any garden hose or the toy hose that we just rolled up. And this gives you the ability, if you've got a fire up in a rain gutter or something, you can link all these together, 1, 2, 3, 6, with a bend on it, and get up and get a little bit of range or get down under something in a root hole or what have you. It just makes things a lot easier to have something hold. It gives you a little structure where you can shove it and push it into things. So I got 3 of each of these. I tape them up with gaffer's tape, and that's also included in the kit. Let's take the little pump out. It was winterized. We put antifreeze in all of our fire stuff over the winter. You can see the pink RV antifreeze, and get some fresh fuel in it and just test run it, make sure it's going. I've got 85 gallons in the Q-Tac here, so we'll use that as our make-believe water reservoir. But what's most likely the case around here anyway would be a swimming pool or an irrigation ditch, anything you have. Good thing to have on hand now is go to Walmart before the fire season and buy yourself one of those cheap inflatable swimming pools, and then have it handy, and if and when the fire comes, then fill that thing up, especially if you rely upon power or electricity to get water to your home. I mentioned the check valve or the foot valve, which allows water to go one way. That's really essential because priming these pumps are bad. Just a little pro tip, when you have one of those, you can shake it back and forth like this, and it will introduce water into it, and you don't have to pre-prime this, which makes all the difference in the world. This being a 2-stroke engine, I give it a 50-50 chance every year that it will start, but it always starts. This one runs 20 to 1. That's pretty rich. So we'll give it some fresh fuel here and see if she chooches. Now, I would never rely upon a 2-stroke engine for a fire pump. This is my bread and butter there. Honda only, but this can be useful. Just understand how temperamental they are. It's not pumping water. You know, it could be that this engine's so small that it can't overcome that foot valve. That's possible. Let's pull that off. I think this was a new addition that I had Mr. Jiraiya put on that we have not tested. This could be it. This is a very little pump. It wouldn't surprise me if it's struggling. I think maybe a better option would be just to have a simple screen. We'll find out here in a minute. A foot valve or a check valve. You know, it's pretty... Doesn't seem like it'd take much to overcome that. But it could be. Let's just try this by itself and see if that does it. Is it possible to put the intake on the supply side, or the supply side? It is possible. There are 2 males, This one has a rubber gasket on it. Man, how do you know? Certainly not obvious, is it? Well, we could try it. It's pretty good. Well, that fixed that. And that, gentlemen, is just about the size of that. The home defense kit. Tomorrow, most likely, we'll go through the main firebox, the power saw stuff, all of the hand tools. Let me know if you'd like to see that. If I have time, I'll be happy to share that as well. But it's the many things that work together that's modular, so we can grab and go and help our neighbors out. Really, that's what it comes down to. The local fire department, they do a good job, but they get stretched pretty thin. A volunteer department, you know how they are. So all the additional help, I'm sure, would be very much appreciated. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.